In 1986, Kevin Mitchell was a 24-year-old rookie with the Mets who did just about everything for them. And here he is, Kevin Mitchell, joining us. How are you?
Well, I'm doing all right. I'm just trying to get over some little injuries. You know, little head bumps on my head. That's it.
But by the way, that was a pretty decent throw. Well, why didn't you catch it in the air?
Well, I could have caught it, Ronnie, but, you know, I just tried to make it so dramatic that year. So,
What are you doing with yourself, my man?
well, like I said, Ronnie,
You've been
earlier,
hurt, right?
I've been rehabbing.
Yeah.
And physical therapy a lot. Had a little spinal cord injury where it put me down in paralysis last year.
Wow, that's a tough fight.
Yeah, it's a battle. You know, as an athlete, you think you're going to fall back and come back and be your same self, but it haven't happened. It's going to take me another year before everything gets right.
You know what's strange for me is that, you know, you and I were close. I loved you as a teammate. You just, you made me laugh. I hated when they traded you because I knew you were going to be a big part of our team. But, you know, the thing about it is that you're the only player that I ever had to face after you were traded that I didn't like facing. And not only because you were a great player, but like I was friends with you. So when you would come up, I was like, God, I really like this guy, but I'm supposed to hate him because I got to get him out. And when you went to the Giants, who moved you up on the plate? Because you had always been kind of away from the plate a little bit, and you got to San Francisco, and all of you was all over the inside part of that dish.
I got to give the credit to Dusty Baker and Willie Mays. You know, they moved me up, put heavier bats in my hand, and made me use my hands a little more. And by facing you too, when I was with the Giants, I knew you was a good friend of mine, you know, and I knew I can get up there and be comfortable with you. So it was actually fun facing the team that I came up with.
So you worked with Willie Mays to work on your approach at the plate. That must have been incredible.
Yeah, he worked on me in my outfield in spring training and my hitting. You know, he's the one that made me transfer the bats from 34s to 36 ounce.
And that led to your MVP year in 1989. Take me back to '86 because you were a big part of the Game 6 against the Red Sox. Had a hit right in the middle of that rally against Calvin Schiraldi. What are your memories of that?
Well, the times I do remember, I knew I was pinch hit. I couldn't remember who I pinch hit for, but I knew I wasn't going to make the last out. It was just fun being there with these guys. I learned a lot from the guys that was on this team, you know, especially these pitchers here. They abused me, you know.
But didn't Schiraldi, weren't you with him in the minor leagues and he kept telling you, if I ever face you, Mitch, this is what I'm going to throw to you to get you out?
He was actually my roommate, right? So he always told me, we sit around in the room, and he always told me, Mitch, I would pitch you in, throw you fastball in, sliders away. So I took the fastball in and then looked for a slider and ended up getting it.
Now, a lot of people say that you were inside. We just had Cespedes, who was in his shorts, and he came out and got a 3-run home run. A lot of people, and it's miscasted, that you were inside and you weren't ready. You were on the bench ready to go.
Right, you know, everybody say I was out in there using the phone to make my flights. Now, you know, as a rookie, where am I going to get the money to make my flight? The Mets was paying for that, so that's all wrong.
No, it was Keith who was sitting inside with his feet up after he made out in that 10th inning.
We were just talking earlier. David Wright made a barehanded catch here. You're famous for the barehanded catch in St. Louis off Ozzie Smith. How did that happen?
Well, everybody say I overran the ball, but we boxed Ozzie that day. You know, it was all technique.
Yeah.
You know, so but I got to put the, you know, just as you play as a kid, played wiffle ball when you was coming up, and we didn't have gloves, so we always used our hand. But there was no way I was going to put a glove on that. I just stuck my hand up, and it actually went in my hand. You know, so.
You teaching kids to play now?
I'm trying to. You know, I work with a bunch of kids here at the Brickyard here, and I'm trying to get them where they can get out there and do the same things I did, but don't make the mistakes that I made. So in life.
So in '86, I mean, when we have the '86 guys back on May 28th, you've seen a lot of the guys recently. We saw each other a few months ago. But who are you looking forward to seeing, or are you just looking forward to I don't know, just seeing the crowd and the people in New York?
Man, it's an enjoyment just going back to New York, especially the fans. You know, I got to give my credit to the New York fans in that city, because by playing in that city, I was able to play anywhere else. Remember when we first went to Chicago, you guys told me to throw a ball in the stands.
That's right.
And they chunked it back at my head. But playing in New York, if you can play in New York, you can play anywhere in the MLB.
So true.
Mitch, hang out with us for another half inning. Kevin Mitchell didn't even need a glove. That's outstanding.